17 to come in.
Go ahead, truck 17.
Primary complete.
Command Southeast, primary complete.
What's up, folks, and welcome to another episode of Primary Complete. Before we kick off the show, do us a quick favor. Like and subscribe. At the end of the show, if you enjoyed it, leave a quick comment. These simple little things make our platform more visible to folks who are looking for the type of show that we produce. For all of you who are constantly interacting with us on social media, talking about the show in your firehouses and with your friends, we can't say thank you enough for helping us build this awesome community. If you haven't yet, check out the social media. Search Primary Complete Podcast on Insta, Facebook, TikTok. Give it a quick like. We also got a website. Feel free to check that out. www.primarycompletepodcast.com. Thank you all once again. Enjoy the next episode and continue to help us make conversation great again. Here we are, Chief Griffin, 2023 First Duke Conference.
Yeah, man.
My brother, how's things going so far?
It's been busy, but fun.
Yeah. I heard you on the phone over there. Sounded like you were working out some water issues and things like that.
Yeah. We would get some hydrants cut on, and yes, they're trying to flow some ground monitors this morning, so just doing some testing. So
I got you.
Yeah, moving some big water.
Yeah.
When I was down here checking out the spot, your wife was telling me where the hot classes and all that were taking place. That sounds like a pretty nice area. Is it a good thing necessarily that they're together, or do you like them spread apart, or do you like everything right there together and compact?
Logistically, it's going to be great that they're all together, trying to do lunch and water and the whole 9 yards. But I think the instructors would like to be spread out a little bit, but the property was available, so we jumped on it.
Yeah, heard that. Yeah, I can see both sides of it. Last year you were spread on total opposite ends of the island. It was fun though. It seemed to work out. Good deal. Any unexpected surprises?
Not yet. We'll see what happens.
I don't think you'll have any.
No,
You about got this thing going on, man.
Yeah, it's starting to flow good.
Yeah, you about got this thing nailed down. Do you have a list of dates for me so we can get people starting to get registered for next year and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we got 2 dates actually.
Snap.
So this January, 9th, 10th, 11th, we're doing Command from the Sand. Little catchy phrase we come up with.
Oh, man.
So-
I'm in. I like it. Yeah.
So we're doing Leadership and Tactic Conference and working on the lineup for that. And then next May 7th, 8th, and 9th, we're doing the First Duke Conference again here in Carolina Beach. So we're excited about both of those.
Hit me with that January date again.
January 9th, 10th, and 11th.
9th, 10th,
Yep.
and 11th. Is that going to have you're going to keep the same capacity? You're going to cut the registration off, or?
You know, we're actually going to probably run that smaller.
Okay.
It's going to be something I hope is unique. We haven't totally ironed out the details, but 2 days in the whole ballroom, and then we're going to split the ballroom into thirds.
Okay.
And we split it in thirds. You're going to go into each track, basically, and learn. We hadn't locked down exactly, but it may be like big box. It may be mid-rise. It may be something commercial, multifamily. Each instructor is going to have a block, and you're going to get some one-on-one time with that instructor. They're going to do some tactics with them and talk through and let the students interact with the instructor. So, and we're going to rotate around kind of like we do the hot day.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it but the problem is we can only get about 50 per room.
Sure.
So it's going to limit us to about 150 people.
Sure.
But we're
First come,
excited.
first serve,
We'll see
baby.
what happens.
Yeah, first come, first serve. I
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Good deal, man. You got instructor lineup for that?
Not 100%.
Not nailed down? Okay.
I can drop a couple names.
No. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, drop a few.
So Scott Thompson with Colony Fire out
Okay.
of Texas.
All right.
He's going to be one of the instructors. Todd Edwards is going to be there.
Nice.
Of course, I'll be there. You know,
Yeah.
it's my conference,
I hope so.
I line myself up for that. And we're still working on a couple others. We had some names ready. They hadn't 100% committed, so I don't want to
That's
put
fine.
their names out.
It'd
so.
be worth coming just for the ones that you mentioned.
Yeah.
It'd be worth coming if it was just you.
That's right. The behind-the-scenes logistics work that it's got to take, I'm surprised you're upright.
Yeah. It's been a rough probably 4 days building up to this, so a lot of running, a lot of details.
Yeah,
But
it's appreciated by the people coming, and like the tickets we gave away, everybody was so appreciative.
Yeah, good,
Thanks
good.
for helping the fire service and for putting this stuff on. It goes so smooth from our side, so
Right.
thanks.
Yeah, man. No, it's our job is to hopefully deal with all the hiccups up front and let the students have a good experience. So
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect. Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we'll catch you back and forth, running around like a chicken with your head cut off the rest of the day and all that. We're grateful. Thank you for the opportunity for us to come back.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll get hopefully get some more the instructors. I want to talk to a first time student sometime today.
Okay.
I don't like saying student because it's not. I mean, you know.
Hey, I'm proud to be a student of the craft.
Oh yeah. No, I'm a student. I'm like running there. I'm running everywhere, but I try to stick my head in there and listen to them. And I've heard some of these guys speak 10 times, but every time I sit in there, I hear something.
That's right.
Like,
Learn something else.
I remember that.
Yep. I'm with you. Yep. So we're going to get a first timer in here for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to
Let's
somebody
do it.
who's never been.
Yeah,
we're
there
going
we
to get
go.
the honest opinion.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I give them something free for y'all talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So
heard
they're
that.
happy.
Chief Griffin, thank you so much for spending a little time with us this morning, and thank you for putting on another great conference this year.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Nice.
Jerome King.
Jermone.
I'm
I
going to
get
mess
that
it up
lot.
again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to mess it
I
up.
get it a lot.
Yeah, I'm the king of messing it up.
Oh, I mean, everybody sees my name first. It says Jerome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we grabbed you on a whim there. Chief Griffin has done throwed you to the wolves, brother.
Yeah.
Done throwed you to the wolves. No, we just finished chatting with him, and I had mentioned, I said, look, I want to get a first-timer, a first student. We've been coming down here. I've come to all three of them. But we were set up last year, and now we're back again this year. But we never had the opportunity to talk to somebody who was their first time. And I felt, when I put all this together at the end, I felt like we were missing that. Like, I want to talk to somebody who's never been and get their honest opinion. I told Chief, I said, we're going to get the honest opinion. So if it's bad, they're going to tell you it's bad. So we got lucky. We got lucky snagging you up. So this is your first time. Where are you from?
I'm from Knightdale, North Carolina.
Nightingale. Got you. And you're on Nightingale
Knightdale
Fire.
Fire Bar.
Nice. How long?
I've been there paid 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. What rig are you on?
I'm on engine 132, station 2, A shift.
Heard that.
A shift's the only shift.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in good company right here.
That's right. Two other A shifters.
Oh, well, yeah.
You guys
It's
get a
set
little
up.
bit of work up there?
Yeah, we did a
Yeah.
little something.
Heard that.
I'm not going to say who else gets a little more work, but
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
We get
So, how'd you even find out about the conference? And more of you came, or you rolled solo?
I rode solo, but I went to the conference that was held by Smithfield's Fire Association. It's quite a few months ago. And Chief Giffen, he taught it. He was instructor there, so I was like, I was digging the information, so I was like, I followed the page and, of course, found about this, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get some more of it.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
great. Yeah.
It is
How's
awesome.
the experience been so far?
I love it. I mean, location is great, of course.
Yeah.
So far, everything I've seen is good. Instruction is good.
Yeah. How many days did you have to get off work to be able to come do this?
2 days.
Yeah. Small
But
investment.
I
man.
mean, yeah, small investment.
Yep. Come get
Further,
some knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good to get an outside view instead of just your small view of when you're in your department and learn more. So,
I agree. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, you get a good opportunity here, man. The instructor cadre that Alan gets out here, man, it's one of a kind. Steve, you just heard Steve. He's great, man. He is great. Ciampo, you'll get to hear him in a little while. I know you're looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to all of it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I follow Chief Clyde as well, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm here for all of it. Right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Good deal, man. Well, we won't keep you too long, but we appreciate the honest opinion there, brother.
Oh,
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate
All right,
y'all.
man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll see you around.
Mr. King, nice to meet you. Yeah.
Good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not that it matters.
Yeah. It is a beautiful day. We
It is gorgeous.
Lucky with the weather.
Weather is good. Weather's good. What's up?
Oh, man, just another beautiful year here in Carolina Beach at the First Two Conference.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite conferences, and I say that, and I'm not just saying that. Alan and the first two people, everybody, Heather. I mean, these guys put in so much work into this conference, and what I love about it is it's truly a grassroots conference, and they cap it at 200 folks, not one more, because that's what they can handle, and it's such a, FDIC is awesome. Like that's the Super Bowl, and we're at FDIC. You're going 180 directions, and you get to see folks, but you don't get to spend time with them.
Right.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes here, it's 3 minutes there. Here, I get to sit down with y'all, and we can just rap about whatever, because his focus is so on the student that that we're accessible and we can just sit down and talk. Yesterday I talked for an hour and a half with a group up from northern North Carolina, and we just talked, and it's refreshing. You know what I mean? As
absolutely.
an instructor, to really get to know the guys that are interested and into the job, and so I love it. It truly is one of my favorite conferences.
That's good. We're just always honored for you to come down here. To
it's great.
Our little hole in the wall in North Carolina down here.
But you know what? Your hole in the wall in North Carolina is the United States of America.
Right.
I mean, you look at the number of metro departments compared to the number of 50-man or 30-man or 100-man jobs.
Smaller rural ones. Yeah.
That's the United States Fire Service.
Right.
So, you know, and we get a lot of questions like, "Oh, you just teaching big city tactics?" I'm teaching stuff on 3-man engine companies.
Right.
That is the national average is a 3-man engine company. So I can't equate Columbus inner city tactics. It does relate, is what I'm getting at. Like it's the same, it's just different. We just may do more of it.
Right.
You know, but it's the
awesome.
same job. The fire don't care whether you got 2 on the engine or 6 on the engine, and the citizens expect the same thing.
Right. Same
The
result.
citizens expect results.
Yeah, I think that that idea from a smaller department and hesitating to sign up for one of these conferences is you're kind of worried, like the stuff I would learn there is not going to apply. But we're here to tell you the motive's there, and the tactics do compare. There's things to be learned, and you're not trying to. Nobody here is trying to get up and look down upon anybody. It's a sharing event. Like,
You know, I started talking about the mass shooting I was a part of on Friday night, and man, I got humbled. I flat got humbled, and you know, first I saw Mo. I grabbed Mo first thing, Mo Davis, and I said, Mo, I screwed this one up. And he's like, I think you're being a little hard on yourself. I said, no, but you know, that can happen anywhere. And I got put in a position of, man, it was alone. I'm so used to pushing the button, and here comes the cavalry. You know, 1,700 person job. I just keep pushing that button, more help comes. Well, they couldn't get to us. So it was, my perception of what was happening was not really reality. And I got caught in that. And you know, I go back, and all I could think of was Chief Lee, Frank Lee from FDNY, talking about, and you know, all those guys talking about, man, we just write right on the wall of a high-rise job, right?
Right.
And I had a Sharpie. I literally started keeping track of my companies on the window of a storefront.
Right.
I literally just started writing on that because I had no check sheet. I had nothing.
yeah. Shooting from the hip.
Well, I'm so used to doing this. I start my action plan. Everything's good. If Chief shows up, here you go, Chief.
Yeah.
It's all you now.
That's right.
Now I'm going to go get back in my comfort zone, run my crew, and work.
Yeah.
Right.
That didn't happen. And you know, we had talked about access, right? So I'm on the north end of the scene with 5 patients, and critical. I had one critical, shot 12 times, once in the neck.
Jesus.
And my closest truck was 4 blocks away. Like, I didn't think to have them bring all the tarps and stuff we're going to need. I'm thinking that's just going to happen. It didn't. Like I'm calling for resources. Well, they got another 6 or 7 shot down. So it just escalates, and then you got 1,000, 1,200 people in the street running around.
Yeah.
Right. So that escalates. It was the most chaotic scene in my 33 years I've been a part of. But you know, you got to talk about it. You got to be humble about it. You got to learn from it.
Yeah.
And then move on. You can't. But you can't sit there and not admit your mistakes. That's the biggest problem. I don't understand it, and I get it some, that a lot of guys won't say they screwed something up because now you're going to hack on me for the next 2 weeks, right?
Right.
That boss don't know what he's doing. Well, no, I'm just a realist that I know I'm not perfect. And ain't nobody is. But until we're humble enough to ourselves in the job to admit your mistakes, you're not going to grow as a company or as a fireman. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, we've mentioned that a lot in some of our past shows, just in conversation with people, the ability to know or recognize when you're wrong. And actually, when you put that out forth in front of people, it does the opposite of what you think in your mind is doing. You think it's making you look weak, or I'm going to stay inside and keep this compartmentalized and all that. But in reality, when you're humble and willing to admit mistakes, what that does to the people you're actually doing it to, they're not taking it negative. For the most part, they're like, homeboy just missed. I mean, now
Yeah.
I can say where I messed up, or and just the growth that can come from that is
You mentioned that, like, stretching for success came out of 30 years of my mistakes.
right. Yeah.
Like of things that we messed up, that we found teachable solutions to common problems. Instead of looking past it, we went, all right, we got to figure this out. Like, I teach how to split cars. We're going to do that tomorrow in the hands-on. That didn't just happen.
Right.
My guys at Engine 18 were out there. It took us about 8-9 months. Like, we do this. Oh, man, that worked great. But that didn't. Like, and we just continued pushing and pushing and pushing. This part worked, this part didn't. And eventually, we just kept vetting it, and then we finally went, okay, what did we just do?
Right.
Because it worked.
It worked.
Right? So, but when you do achieve that success with a crew, man, morale went through the roof.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we did it together. We failed together, but we grew together. We came up with solutions. There's not a better feeling as a company than when you fail together and then you succeed together because you keep putting the work in.
Yeah. I've said that before, that we're all firemen, and we tend to learn best from our mess ups.
Yeah.
And some of the best instruction that I've ever been given, and as an instructor now myself, the most benefit I believe that I can give to my students is make an environment safe for them to fail and allow them to fail, and then allow them to have conversation and allow them to talk through it without me ever saying anything. Ken Hogue, one of my favorite instructors that I've ever taken anything from in my entire life, that's his thing. He'll give you a task, and he sits back in his chair, and he just watches. And when you get done, let's talk. Let's get through this. Let's talk. And then you build from that. And
I think that's great. The only thing I caution you on is don't let that failure continue.
right.
Like you
not
got-
repeating
you could-
failure. Yes.
Yeah, because then we're forming habits.
That's
and then,
right.
So that's a great way to teach us. Okay, let's let them do it. Then we're going to talk about it, but don't stop there.
That's
You've
right.
got to finish on a high note, right? Like I
sure.
saw it was McCraven. Admiral McCraven was talking. He's like, they don't ever finish. The SEALs or any of the Spec Op guys never finish on a failure. They always finish with success.
Yeah.
Because when you hit that situation again in your midbrain, where are you going to go to? The last time that
yeah.
you did that. I used to teach, you're dead. You took your gloves off, or you screwed that up, you're dead. Next. Man, we did it wrong. We used to do that all the time. That was the worst thing we could ever do as an instructor. Because now, if they hit that situation, I might as well just roll over and die. I wasn't successful at it, right?
Right.
So, it evolves. We continue to learn. We're not perfect, but as an instructor, you've got to stay up and you've got to keep an open mind and be willing to roll. I changed the way I teach, because millennials. When I first started Stretching for Success, I had maybe 1 or 2 videos in there. I realized that every time that I didn't back up a couple slides of bullets with a video, they lost me, and they're here doing this on the phone, and they're looking for a video to see if I'm right or not.
Right.
So my Stretching for Success, I think I got almost 40 videos. Now they're all 1 or 2 minutes, so they're not long, but it reinforce visually what you're teaching, because it's a different learning style.
Sure.
And you have to learn to adapt to that. And it took me a little bit to figure out, like, why are they not listening to me? Why are they not taking notes? But they're taking pictures of every slide. I'm like, are they stealing their program? No. But they weren't. But that's just the way they learn now. Where we were taking notes like crazy, they don't do that. The younger generation doesn't do that. So as an instructor, you have to adapt to your audience. And you have to adapt with the times and their learning styles, or you're just not going to get through.
How long did it take you to figure out that tidbit?
Man, it was about 6 months, because I'm talking to Mike Ciampo, and I'm talking to Ray McCormick, and guys that have been mentors of mine for a long, long time. Bill Gusto. I mean, like, are you seeing this? Like, they're not engaged at all, and they're like, they're engaged, I think. But then we all started talking about it, and then I had a young man say, man, your videos were great. I go, what do you mean? He goes, it really reinforced what you was talking about. And it kind of was like the bells of St. Mary went off in my head. I'm like, every one of these dudes is visual.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just missed that, and it took me a while. But now, like today, you saw, I've got probably 30 videos, because if you're not reinforcing it visually, it's not going to connect.
I agree. That's something I struggle with the new generation and even new firemen is like why don't they get it? Why don't they get, they were taught in the academy this way, and why are they not getting any of it? That, and it's the expectation that they learn the same way that we do, the same things that we used to do.
Is it they don't get it or we don't get it?
90% of the time,
I
I'm going
think
to say
it's
it's
we don't get it, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
These millennials are terrible. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't adapted to the time.
Right.
You're stuck here, and I still do some pretty old school stuff around the firehouse. I can
Sure.
assure you of that.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to adapt to your crew and to the times, because if you can't stay stuck you just can't stay stuck. If you're stuck, you're going to be that old grouchy guy that doesn't do nothing and everybody hates.
That's right, and you're going to get left.
They're going to go right past you. So it's hard. So trust me, you should see me trying to learn this computer stuff is killing me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I struggle writing articles. I've got a couple going to be coming out in fire engineering, but I struggle with that because my mind goes faster than my fingers.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up with a keyboard in my hand.
Right.
I got a young man, Corey Yutzi, on Engine 15, does a great job getting ready to get promoted. And he's like, boss, let me help you with that. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, let me help you with your article. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm talking, this kid's doing, just like,
Yeah, getting after it.
Hey, how do you do that? Like,
Yeah.
It's like, you got to understand, we've been typing since we was 4. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's a thing. It's a thing.
Thumbs seem to be getting faster and faster.
Right.
Thumbs.
It's crazy.
If you stay mission driven, then adapting to whatever comes is easier on the mind anyway.
For sure. And I think the other thing is, it's ever evolving. You can't just stay stagnant. Like we're working on some things now with some mid-rise stuff, and you look across the country, and I don't care what neighborhood you're in, these 5-6 story mid-rises are going up everywhere, and they don't care that you're showing up with 3 people. They have expectations of work. And so I'm currently working on a new program, and it's going to be focused on mid-rise and mid-rise options for short staffing, because again, reflex time is a thing.
Yeah.
It's going to take you can't sit there and wait for 3 companies to show up
For sure.
before you go up there.
Right.
So what are some things we can use to mitigate that? So that's the new program. I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm working on a new program with that. So I'm excited to get dug into that a little bit, and we'll see what happens with it. But
Yeah. I share that excitement.
it's a thing, though. Like
They're going up everywhere around here, man. That's all they're building now is multifamily apartments, 3 and 4 stories high.
we're
and
sitting
it's-
here looking at a 5-story
There you
right
go.
in front of
Yeah.
us, right?
Yeah.
Carolina Beach, well, they got one firehouse, right?
Yes.
One firehouse, 4 guys on duty.
Right.
Now you got a fire on the top floor.
And a river separating them from other companies.
And not only that, but we've got a steady 35-mile-an-hour wind. today.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So we have to adapt. Like the fire don't care you got 3 or 4. They don't care that your next company's coming in 10 minutes. Doesn't matter.
Right.
We got to get mitigation started and buy us some time to get some help. So we got some things coming down the pipe I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire is the truth that we all have to catch up with. Like it doesn't matter. Like you're saying, the event and the fire, whatever's burning, whatever you're bringing, yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. The wind's not going to wait.
Nope.
The fire's not going to wait.
Nope.
Right.
No, sir. And I think if you go down the thing of it's new.
Sure.
So even if we come up with tactics, until we vet them, knowledge without experience is theory, right?
Correct. Yep.
So we've got, I'm fortunate enough, I'm working with the Illinois Fire Institute on a few things, and Jimmy Davis, Captain Engine 43 in Chicago, myself, and some other guys are working on some mid-rise tactics, and we're going to be fortunate enough that later on this summer, they've got an 8-story high-rise that we're going to burn. So we're going to get an opportunity to go up and for 3 or 4 days with a small group of instructors and truly vet some of these. Well, we've got some ideas, and I think legitimately they're going to work. But until we can vet them, you can't put them out there as you can't. I mean, I can put them out there as thoughts.
They're just ideas.
But I'm not going to put it out there as this works.
Right.
I can tell you this should work.
Yeah.
But we're going to be able to get up there and burn for 3 or 4 days. Just an incredible opportunity to have an 8-story building to burn.
No doubt.
That doesn't happen a lot. So, you know, we're going to try to maximize that. I got 3 pages of stuff I want to try already. So I'm looking forward to later on this summer to get some true answers and hopefully some good video and just some things that considerations, man. I can't tell you the answer to all of it, but the fire on the 4th floor is no different than the fire on the 1st floor. The challenge is getting water vertically quickly. It's the same, you know, 900 square foot apartment.
Right.
Same as a shotgun house.
Yeah.
But you just got to get up there to do it.
You got to get up there to get the water to it.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly. So it's some exciting things happening. But this conference, like I said, man, he just brings in top-notch talent with good people. And this, you know, the social last night. How awesome is that? That you sit down at the Lazy Pirate, and I just went table to table talking to guys, and you get to sit there 45 minutes, an hour, just
Right.
rapping, right? We do
Right.
the same thing tonight, you know. So good stuff. If you haven't been down here, it is a great conference.
I agree.
Yep. If you're ever hesitating on joining this one, just hearing the story of the motive, like the why behind all the good teaching, get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's, like I said, there's something. So you got Mike Ciampo, FDNY, largest fire department in the country. I guarantee you, if you're in that room right now, you're going to take truck tactics, even though you don't have a truck. He's
Right.
going to give you things that are applicable to accomplish the mission of truck work. He's going to give you, with what you got, you're going to be able to adapt what he gives you to this. You truly are. I don't know if you caught his book yet. Y'all got a copy of his book yet?
No, we haven't.
I am an engine guy through and through, right? It is an unbelievable book. His Tower Ladder book is all experience-based stuff that's not in a book, and it's in a book now. I would highly recommend you. I think you can get it on michaelciampo.com.
That's
It
right.
is, if you're a ladder guy and you don't have this book, shame on you. Because he not only explains what to do, he gives you a real life experience of how he came to that
Yeah.
to that subject and how he taught that subject based on this, and this from real world experience. And that's hard to put that into paper, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, it was just about to come out last year when we were down here.
Yeah.
We got a
Yeah.
little tidbit. He gave us a little bit of
A little
bit.
nugget.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And even like I said, even as an engine guy, it all applies to me because I look at our positioning different. Looking at some of the things he wants to accomplish on some of these fires.
Right.
You know, I've got to give him room to thrive.
Sure.
Because sometimes that truck's the most important thing there. We got to put the fire out, but maybe he's got to get positioning to be plucking people off. You know, how many balconies are right there?
Right.
Right? 10, 12, 14. If I don't give him that scrub zone to get those people, we got problems.
Right.
Right? So it all goes together. We hack each other all the time. He's a balcony ballerina. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the truck can help us and we can help the truck. And it all starts with positioning. So that's one of the articles I'm writing now for engineering's positioning apparatus. I think we really, really struggle with that. And I think the stretch is set up off positioning. I think the truck getting to the roof in a timely manner when needed to be is set up off the engine if we do it right. But I also think it's very important for that initial engine officer to get comfortable enough to guide crews in the way you want them. If you can set those first 3 companies the way you want them, you're starting down the right path. You know, an example like for me, I have very narrow streets. I got cars on both sides of the street. So if I go to a dwelling fire, I'm a single engine company, 18's on the scene. I got 2.5-story dwelling working fire. Hey, engine 7, I need you to come in from the west. Lay in from the west and nose into me. 13 truck, come in from the east. I got you a nice spot out front. If I could set those first 3 companies the way I want them based on what I see, the rest just falls together.
Yeah, you got your foundation right.
Absolutely. And when that happens, though, the fire tends to go what direction?
Good. Yeah.
Very good, because now the positioning is set up to stretch. The stretch sets up the push. The positioning sets up the search. The ground ladders go up. The vent enter search happens. All of these things can be accomplished because we're in the right spot. It all starts there. But I think we look at it too much as an individual thing. It's a system.
Right.
Right? It's a system. You have to have the system in place if it's going to work. No different than when you learn to put your gear on, right? Did you do it the same way the first 2 times you did it? No way, right? You was trying to figure out what? Your system.
Which way is faster?
But
Better for
now,
me.
do you even think about doing that?
Nope.
So when you start including positioning into your rundowns and guiding that second engine and that first truck in the way you want them, when that's part of it, that becomes part of your system. And when you can do that, man, it helps you immensely. And things just start clicking because you don't have the second engine doesn't pull behind the first engine and put the truck 4 houses down.
Right.
Sure.
Now I'm carrying ground ladders, or the second engine pulls up right behind the truck and it's a tiller, and all the ladders come out the rear. Stuff like that you just, when you make those mistakes, they're hard to recover from. It makes it harder for everybody.
Absolutely.
So,
Man, what a pleasure again.
it's all good, man. I love doing this with you guys. Like I said, this is one of my favorite conferences, and I hope to see everybody next year. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We hope to see you next year.
Absolutely. Y'all need anything, reach out.
Absolutely. I'll
right,
do
man.
it. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr.
guys.
Steve.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
man.
Have a good day.
You bet, guys. Take care.
Chief, I don't believe we've formally met. I'm Matt Hoffman. I work here in New Hanover County.
nice to
I know
meet you,
a lot
brother.
about you.
Uh-oh.
Good to see you.
Chief, I'm Steve Hunt.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you guys.
So Chief Mo Davis from the big city. So who came first, you or Clyde?
Well, he's got about 3 years on me.
Is he going to answer that question the same way?
Man, I think he will.
No, Clyde's
It'd be a lot longer answer, though.
no doubt. We got we talked with Clyde last year down here, and he came moseying down the hall. It was like 5:30, and everybody was gone. And he said, I'm gonna run it in my room. I'll be back. Like 20 minutes later, he comes bebopping down, and we sat right here in an empty hotel and chatted it up. He's an outstanding guy. It must be something in that Houston water down there.
I guess. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He really is a good guy.
So enough about Mr. Clyde. We'll get to him later. Chief, just for the folks who might not know who you are, maybe some of our people, I doubt it. Probably most everybody who listens to us probably knows who you are, but give us a little rundown, a little bit of your own bio there.
Man, 28 years, always been in Houston. Man, I'm a lucky guy. I came into a busy station, stayed busy my whole career, and promoted up mainly because I want to stay a long time.
Sure.
I've never thought one day about retiring, and I'm still at a busy station. Still love going to work. I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Yeah, I've heard you say before that you're a 40-year guy.
Man, I will work at least 40 years.
Heard that.
That's beautiful. And my wife and stuff, they're good. They don't put any pressure on me, but I'll be here 40 years. I love it. I mean, I could go now, and I've never even thought one time about retiring. I never even thought about slowing down. So, I don't know. Still like, the guys at the station are good to me. Mm-hmm. So, I still get to ride the pumper every once in a while.
Good.
Take a break and give the guy on the truck a break. So, yeah, man, I hope I never stop liking it.
Good deal. I hope so too. That's that's an interesting thing. You don't hear many people say that. I guess that they want to be on it, in it, and on it as long as they're physically able. I'm assuming that'll be what ends up stopping you. Is just you can't physically do it. I'm sure your brain will be in it, and probably until they put you in the ground. But
I hope. We were at the Joey D a while back, and I got to burn all day. And I was talking to Kevin Yost, and he goes, "How many you going to do today?" I said, "Man, when my body won't let me do it anymore."
Heard that.
I just stayed all day.
Heard that.
It's refreshing.
I love it, man.
How many conferences and seminars do you travel and go around and do probably every year? I'm sure you don't have an exact number, but just an estimate.
Brother, I'm so busy. I probably do 2 a month. Some days 3 a month.
Man.
And lucky guy to get to do it.
Absolutely.
It's something I love. It's really like work, I just get to go out and have fun. So I would say, probably maybe, 30, 35 a year.
Busy man.
Yeah, and I love it. I love
Busy
it.
man.
Yeah.
What's your I don't want to say niche because you all have something different, but it's all for the common goal. What is your niche on things? Like Steve's a real big engine guy, stretching for success. Ciampo is the ladder guy. What's
my most favorite job in the fire department was a pumper. The engine. I loved it. My body couldn't do it forever. But if I had one thing that I said, I really loved engine work. Now, as a chief, I like being a chief because you can kind of set the bar for the district you work in.
Sure.
And I'm fortunate. I work around a bunch of great guys. So, you just set the expectations. They all follow in with them. Everybody bites in on the same. But if I'd say my most favorite, that pumper, man, there's nothing like pulling a line, squirting water.
Heard that.
That's the most favorite thing going.
How long were you doing that before you started moving on up into, the progression?
I did it a long time, so I didn't promote right away. So then whenever I was an engine captain, I was probably an engine captain probably 10 years before I went on up. And it was one of the busiest pumpers in the city, and we were rolling out the door a lot,
Jamming, yeah.
And so a lot of people's like, they asked me, over the years, why you still stay here? It was like, man, we go to work every day, and we had a good crew. So yeah, I was a captain for a pretty good while. I didn't stay a senior captain that long. I was a senior captain, I think maybe 3 years. In the Houston Fire Department, we go firefighter, chauffeur, captain, senior captain, and then we go to chief. So, but I think my senior captain was like 3 years, so it wasn't bad.
Talk me through this transition from captain into the chief's role. What was that? What was it like? Was it a dramatic mind shift and outlook shift?
It really was, because when you're on the pumper, you're one of the guys.
That's right.
You got the chief, and you're one of the guys. And so then I had to
when you're the chief, you're the guy.
Yeah. Hey, you're like, this may sound silly, and this may sound conceited or something, but you'll be sitting there thinking, man, they should be doing this right now.
Right.
But when I was on the pumper, I just ran wild.
Right.
And so now as a chief, I have to be, I guess, a little bit more responsible. But yeah, it was a big leap, and it was a big leap not to put your hands on it.
Right.
And so I still, when I'm a division guy, I'll find a way to give a guy a break. I'll hump some slack for him, or and if he's real tired, I might squirt a little water for him. But
sure,
just be one of the guys.
Sure. What about the mindset shift of learning to, I guess, manage things on a bigger scale and where people are needed, and some of your talks that you've had in the past, you love to dog the safety officer guy, which I love. That's like one of my that's my favorite thing about you. It's like he talks so much shit about the safety guy. I love it.
I do. So I came from a guy, Fred Hooker was his name, as my chief, and he taught us to be simple firemen. We don't do anything fancy. We don't do acronyms. We don't catch into the newest trend. We kept it simple. We searched for people, we vented, and we put the fire out. So then what you were seeing now, when I rag on the safety officers, I'd a whole lot rather to train a guy in our district, because we have fire-based EMS. So if I got a chauffeur on an ambulance that trains with me every day, works with me every day, I'm going to listen to him more than somebody from across town.
Sure.
Right? And so, and safety officers, they get in your way. Just cut the power, put that yellow tape up, and you can go back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's I'll listen to a guy that works with us. Because, if you told me, hey, man, this is sagging in the back, we need to pull out, and I train with you every day, well, I agree with you.
Right.
But then if I don't know you and you don't know the capabilities of the guys, so that's where it comes from.
Yeah, we're literally 5 seconds from putting this fire out. I'm not worried about a little roof sag, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah. or somebody's bell's going off. They're almost out of air. Well, they're in a one-story house. They can step out. Right. So it just so Fred Hooker and Mike Phillips were big influences on me, and I kind of do things just like they did, simple, to the point, nothing fancy.
Sure.
You got to get dirty every now and then.
Where do you think that mindset came from the safety aspect side of things, where we're, to me it seems like we're overcomplicating things. You said you like simple and stuff like that. It's almost like we're safety things to death.
Yeah.
Or trying to, I should say.
Yeah, I think it's bad as this sounds, we started letting everybody into our business. Man, we're unique people.
Absolutely.
And when we opened it up to everybody and we lowered our standards, then all of a sudden people who really didn't want to be us or really didn't want to be firemen, they started making it safe. But then they started promoting and got ahead of us, and then they started pushing us against the wall. And I'll be honest, I think we're taking it back. You take conferences like this,
right? I
think we're taking it back. But I think when we let everybody in our profession, we lowered the standards for everybody, that's when we started getting killed. And it's sad, but I think we're coming back, and I think we're pushing them guys away, and I don't know. I think we're all right.
Yeah, it takes a special type of person to know that they are, like, not liked and still want to function in that environment. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like I said, it takes us some crazy screws loose
It does.
for somebody to be like, none of these people like me, yet I want to stay here.
That's right.
You know, it's, I like the idea of kind of pushing those people out. And I think you're right. We're down here in Hanover. We're kind of slow behind like big metro stuff and all that. We're get to the party a little bit late, if you could say. So, but yeah, we've had that influx here of people. It's like, man, when I started here 16 years ago, it's not like this. We were like, all right, let's buckle up.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's buckle up and get it. You know, so it's been an interesting journey to sit here for the podcast and listen to folks talk about it and the ways it's gone. We've heard the arguments from the safety side of things. We get to listen and have conversations with folks like you and all the people at the conferences that are super offensive and super aggressive. So it's great. What's how many years have you been coming to this conference? Is this your
Well, I had to miss last year because of a family emergency. It's my first time, and I've loved it.
first timer? We were talking earlier about getting a first timer on here.
It's
to
me.
be sure, it's just Mr. Mo. Nice.
It's me. You know,
Chief.
and I was in Goldsboro last week. Everybody I've met here is in the whole state has got the same minds. We don't want to get anybody hurt.
Right.
We don't want to get anybody hurt. But I think we can be very, very aggressive if we build in safety features. If you put a backup line in place or you got a plan B, we can be aggressive. And then I found that when I was in Goldsboro the other day and talking to guys here, I probably talked to 200 people here,
Sure.
150 people here. Everybody gets it.
Right.
And that's what I like. And I think we're doing okay.
Yeah. I'd agree.
It's
What's-
refreshing to feel that shared feeling that there's a move, there's a turn coming back to.
I think there is. I think there is. And some guys get real fancy, and I tell you, these guys are smarter than I ever was. Some of these young guys, they know. I don't know inside diameter hose, and I don't know this. Man, I just knew that's what the city bought me. That's what I squirted water with. But I think tactics always wins, and I think tactics starts with a big old heart.
Right.
And I think firemen in general are good people. I don't think people have to tell us to be good people. And I think that heart, and then, we're all type A. Most of our athletes.
Right.
We don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to start seeing some of that more.
Well, I'm excited for it.
Me too, brother. Me too.
And super excited you got to come share some time down here with us.
I appreciate
First
it,
due
guys.
conference. Chief Griffin does okay. It's an okay conference. I mean, I
Yeah.
put it somewhere in the top 50 that I've ever been to.
Yeah. If he lets me come back next year, he'll move up.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, Chief,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure.
Hey,
Thank you so much for your time.
It's nice meeting you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Be
You
safe.
too.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
letting me do this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Chief.
It's nice meeting you.
Goldsboro, huh?
Yeah. Hey,
That's
and,
about 15 minutes from where I live.
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I work here in New Hanover, but I live in Duplin County. Which
Okay.
Is right. I live in Mount Olive, or just outside of Mount Olive.
Yeah,
which
there's
is
some
right
guys
where
there.
Yeah.
So they call me the next day, and I don't mean this bragging in any
fine.
way, but it's just they call me the next day and go, man, Mo, we had this chief that we didn't think was buying into the program. He said he had a Chiefs meeting this morning, and he said we're going to start putting a backup line in, and we're going to start doing more ventilation. So he's going to add. I think I got to tell you. Said we're going to put another pumper on this. He said just from what you said, and I told him, I said, hey man, that's how we're winning.
Yeah.
If we win one at a time, I probably deleted it, but no, there it is. So we know I'm not lying you. So, you just go somewhere and then somebody hears some little something. And
That's awesome.
so yeah, that's a pretty nice,
Very cool.
And
I like the idea that tactics win. Like
Yeah.
that. When you said that, I was like, he's right.
yeah, it really is.
At the end of the day, that's all we got.
And the brotherhood.
Yeah,
I don't
no
care what
doubt.
anybody says, man. You got to love each other.
Yeah.
And I don't care where you work, how big, how small. I mean, if you love each other, we're gonna win. And we are. I mean, I didn't want to say over 10,000 people, but we just got to kick those cowards out. And you can do it.
You're on
Yeah.
YouTube. There's
Yeah, I
more
know,
than
man.
10,000 people heard you say that phrase before.
Yeah.
I go downtown every once in a while,
Yeah.
but anyway, what can you do?
Yeah, that's good, man.
Hey,
I agree.
I told the chief one time, I said, man, you can't eat me and you can't change my birthday. So
Yeah.
there you go. Anyway. All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be around all day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come up with another story.
There you
That's
go.
good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank y'all.
If that chair's empty, you want to sit in it, come sit down.
That's right.
Hey, I'll probably get both of y'all fired.
I doubt it. If we hadn't done that already,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we're the misplaced snowflakes in our department.
So y'all need to get, y'all know who Taylor Tens is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to get him, let me see if I got a picture of it. If not, I got it upstairs. It says,
He just did our whole department as well. We just did a complete show
something
change.
degenerate. What was it? No. Steve, you remember that guy made them tents for me and Clyde and sent to us? What they say? I got it upstairs. It's a good one, but it's like something defiant, like chronic defiant or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's fun. That's probably gonna get us a little trouble.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's a trigger
You
word.
drive back and forth every day?
Well, we work 24s, so it's nice. 10, 11 times. I enjoy it, man. It took me a long time. It took 2 kids and getting further in life to really appreciate that commute back home. That time to change hats. And it took a little while, but once I got it, I take full advantage of it. I don't even listen. I'm a huge podcast junkie. That's all I ever play. But on my way home in the morning, I don't even listen to podcasts anymore. It's just silence and the highway. That's it.
So I live about 3.5 hours away, and I live way out in the country. And so I get it, like you say, man, I debrief, man, I get everything out, and then I'm with my family.
That's right.
And you laugh, but you can ask guys who try to call me. I have no phone service where I live. We're just now getting cable, and my wife is so excited. She goes, man, we're going to get to watch real TV now. And so it takes me forever to get
Welcome
home.
to 2023.
Exactly. Yeah. We're a little slow, but we're catching up. But that's what I do. I drive, and I run my errands on my way home. I buy my feed for my animals, and I go to the grocery store with my wife and that because we live. Grocery store is probably 25 minutes away from us.
Right.
But by the time I get home, man, I'm a different guy. I'm relaxed.
How far is where the Jesus go? He went to Round Rock.
Oh yeah,
Round Rock.
Yeah, that's probably about 3 hours for me.
He left here. Great guy. Left here and went there.
Hey, that's a good department.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's,
he went to a good place. They make good money too.
that's good.
And I think they're busy.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like northeast of Austin a little
Okay.
bit. And now Austin's a little bit more laid back, like you can't go into a chief gets on scene and stuff like that. But
What?
those guys they go pretty big.
That's a thing?
Hi, that's so weird.
That's a thing.
It is. Hey, they brought them Phoenix guys in. And Phoenix guys went there. They went to San Antonio. Like we cut a lot of holes. San Antonio, you can't cut a hole. They will bump you off if you cut a hole. Y'all probably read did y'all read my comment on Facebook before they took me off Facebook about you can't cut a hole, you get it out, but you need sushi off a girl's belly and not get in trouble?
Yeah.
Well, what happened was the fire chief got caught at a sushi bar eating sushi off a girl's belly, but he bumped some guys off for cutting a hole.
Yeah, come on.
And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I see the violation though.
Yeah.
That's a little sushi off the belly.
That's a great
What do you
comment.
mean you haven't?
Yeah.
Ever done that?
Yeah. I mean, no, I want to eat sushi. Yeah, that part done is probably a sweaty belly too, man. But yeah. But all you guys up here, like everybody I've ever met from the East is aggressive.
We try to be.
It doesn't feel like we're that strong in numbers, but
I
we're
guess
getting
probably a
better.
lot of it has to do with such the big volunteer base. North Carolina, we're still 88% volunteer.
Are you?
Oh yeah, through the state. Do what now? 70s now.
Yeah.
Do y'all get a good turnout and stuff?
Our department we still fall under combination volunteer, but we don't have any
We don't have any
active.
volunteer.
Yeah.
So it's
Because that's where I got my first love of it. I was a kid, and my grandpa was a part. They called it civil defense. They didn't call it volunteer back then. It was civil defense. And they were out dragging a lake for a body. And my mama, we took some food out there to them. And I can remember thinking just like yesterday. And I was just a little boy. I was like, man, that's the coolest thing. They got uniforms. So then I rodeoed. I played football and baseball. So when I wasn't doing sports, I was sitting at the civil defense office. They'd never make runs. By God, I was there every day just in case.
Yeah.
That I
Nice.
as I got older, I was like, I'm going to be a fireman. So.
that's awesome.
That Goldsboro area you were at, that's all surrounded by volunteers. Yeah, there's not See, there's a few houses, little volunteer houses that have like 3 part-time paid people every now and again.
Yeah.
But 24-hour full-time staff.
Yeah.
No.
I admire people. I admire people that takes that much time out of their life.
Right.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And you never know, man. You go in this business and get you, man.
I never volunteered ever a day in my life. I started out in the paid department. I've been ever since. My wife, she grew up around volunteers.
Yeah.
All her family, all the men in the family were
Yeah.
little community fire department, Oak
Yeah.
Grove Fire Department.
That's
North
where I
Carolina.
grew up, yeah.
And he,
Yep.
and that she had the hardest time understanding my world. And then, you know, when I came in, you're like, oh, you're a professional fireman. Think of what asset you could be to this little volunteer department. I'm like, I don't want to fight fire when I'm not at work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that.
No, man,
I stayed away from it for a long time, but I'm back in it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
You smell it. You
Yeah.
can't get away
Yeah.
from it. You be driving down the road.
Yeah, that's
and see
right.
one.
That's right.
And I promise you, you take all 5 of us, and we saw smoke across the street.
We're gone.
We're jamming up the door to get out of here.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hey, somebody's gonna grab a hose to hump some side.
do? We ain't telling nobody that.
No.
Best I know,
For a hot minute.
Yeah.
best I know, all them fire trucks sitting in the parking lot ain't got no keys though.
Yeah, that's right. And I promise some of us can figure out how to put in pump gear.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
But I'm not driving that big one. Oh, you see that big one?
Big what?
Wheelbase?
Which truck? Is it a truck?
I guess it's not a big. No, it's not here today. I ain't never seen nothing this big. That's crazy, but it was a bumper.
Wonder where it's from.
Yeah. Was it red?
Yeah, it's brand new. They hadn't sold it yet or something.
Huh.
Red and black. Yeah. Yeah. That is. Leland's.
It does.
How about that?
I
Gotta
never
be a
seen
Leland
nothing
truck.
like
Yeah.
that. Man, I said somebody's gonna be buying a lot of ice cream because they
Yeah.
can prove everything.
That pump bell's beautiful. That thing is huge.
Yeah, it was. And then it said, did they say they had 1,000 or 750 gallons?
I bet it's 1,000. Yeah. Ours all have 1,000.
Y'all do?
Yeah. We have one 1250. Yeah.
And that's normal around here. I mean, I'm a truck guy, and my truck has 300 gallons on it.
Yeah. It's,
They don't believe in spending money on it if it doesn't carry some sort of water. 2 water cans is not enough.
yeah, it's my part-time job, we got 1,000 gallons. There's only 2 of us. And we teach the police department how to catch a plug for us. And so they help us, and then we pay the favor back. Like if they're fighting or wrestling with somebody, we'll go help them because they don't have anybody either.
Right.
So works out pretty good.
Yeah.
We finally got it where they don't break our windows because used to they just run around breaking
Yeah.
windows.
Open the door, say, anybody home? They leave the door open, and
Steve,
Were you at 2X and then this year?
Yeah.
You got new ones.
2X, yes, please.
you guys gonna go eat lunch here in a while?
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm going to eat something.
Yeah.
I'm starving.
It's up to y'all, brother. You know me.
I know Dave was talking about going to the Hoplite, that Irish joint. Or,
These are nicer.
we don't get to see him as much as we used to, so we'll probably go with him.
Yeah.
Yep, man. I'll eat anything, brother.
He's from Texas, god dang it, I would eat anything.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be tough this morning. Thank you, I appreciate that. I tried to be tough this morning. I said, I ate too many hot dogs last night. I like slaw dogs.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need to get a bunch of slaw dogs. Man, when I went to bed, it felt like it was right here.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if it's the slaw or the hot dog that got me. Would you leave for smoke?
Yeah.
There's a little noise in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're locking the doors if we see smoke.
That's
We're
right.
going. We're going.
Barricaded so
That's
we can
it.
go. You know,
That's it.
We're keeping amongst ourselves. Hey, I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just got back from lunch, so.
Telling Ciampo to take his time.
Yeah.
Take his time.
What's up?
What do you need, 10 minutes or something?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna run upstairs, get one phone number, I'll be back.
Take your time,
Nice.
sir. Take your time.
Thanks, Ciampo.
Take your time.
No, tell that old man to rush.
Yeah. That's right.
So Eric Wheaton, right? Isn't that
Yep,
correct?
yep.
Good. I'm Matt Hoffman. Nice to meet you,
yeah,
sir.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Heard lots about you, but I don't know much about you.
All right.
So I feel kind of ashamed of myself, to be honest with you. I like to do my homework on the folks that we talk to.
Yeah, okay.
Just so I have some sort of
Yeah.
idea. But yeah, I don't know much about you, brother. But
Yeah.
you're here at the First Two Conference. This is your first time here?
Yep, first time.
Okay, we're smoking hot. I don't know if that's something on my end that I can change for us. Let me see. There we go.
Yeah, you cooled off my headset.
Son,
That was good.
bro,
Thank you.
My
Yeah.
ears were going to explode.
Yeah.
So, but you're here at the First Two Conferences. This is your first year being here. And the fact that you're here and we're invited by Alan already tells me a lot about you already. We
Oh,
think
yeah.
highly of him. This conference is probably one of the best in the country, definitely the best in this state. So you got
Yeah.
quite the introduction already.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm a Florida boy, so any time I get a fire event on the beach, I'm down.
Heard that.
Is that where you're on the job? That's down in Florida?
Yeah. So work for City of Winter Park. We border the north end of downtown Orlando. Small city, 9 square miles, 3 firehouses, 3 engine companies, and 1 truck company, and a chief. So
Okay.
yeah, small city, but being basically the the neighbor to downtown Orlando, we're very, very densely populated, which is why we got the 3 firehouses and the 9 square miles.
That seems wild.
Yeah.
9 square miles. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's-
with plans to build a 4th station here, with very little annexation happening, and very little growth from it's just the sheer volume of people coming in and out of that part of the state. Busiest tourist industry, tourist part of the state, is Central Florida. So
do y'all run a lot with Orlando?
yeah, we're right at that size where we pretty much handle most of our runs without outside influence. In Florida we have automatic aid. It's not technically mutual aid. It's automatic aid.
Right.
So if it's in the south side of our city, city of Orlando will come in, and then we're basically surrounded all other sides by Orange County, which is the 3rd largest department in the state.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Yep. I born and raised in Florida. I live at the coast, so I'm about 50 minutes from work. Basically Cocoa Beach. I live on Merritt Island, so that's where NASA is.
Right.
Where they shoot the rockets off. So I get to watch that from the house.
That's cool. I always just have to keep up online and then go run outside and try to catch it. You're like, you just hear it.
Yeah. No, it rumbles the house. They'll wake up in the middle of the night for sure.
I bet.
For sure.
I bet. How long have you been there?
I at the fire department.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I've been on the job. I'm coming in my 17th year now. First fire department I got on with. So, which is kind of rare for us. We tend to hire people from outside agencies.
Sure.
We have a very high retention rate. I think the last person to leave us for another fire department was actually 17 years ago.
Wow.
Because that created one of the spots that I got hired on, which went to City of Orlando. We're one of those destination spots in Florida.
Sure.
Basically, if you want to work in Central Florida, you tend to want to work for City of Orlando or City of Winter Park, and your decision is going to be: do I want to work for a big city or a small city?
Right.
So great training culture, great aggressive culture. Our apparatus, our equipment. Are just always top of the line, and just great overall culture and morale in the department. So
That sounds cool.
And the retention shows that, right? So
No kidding.
Sounds
That's
like
beautiful.
big city vibes with small town culture.
that's exactly what we say. So small city with big city heart.
Yeah.
What
That's
we-
cool,
what
man.
We like to say, yeah.
That's cool. And you presented yesterday at the conference, right?
Yeah, correct. I did a water can lecture titled "Can Confidence."
Sure.
Actually started as a hot program. I want to say 10 or 11 years ago at the Orlando Fire Conference. The first time it was presented. It actually took me many years to even do a lecture, a non-fire version of that program. And in 2019 was the first time that I presented a lecture series, just because the hands-on part of it and specifically the live fire aspect of it was so important to me.
Sure.
But it's been working out. I tweak it every once in a while. But yeah, presented yesterday. Today we got the truck roundtable talk, and then hands-on tomorrow at the vacant there. We'll be doing some more water can stuff as well as going a little deeper dive in the primary search.
All the cool shit that we carry on fire trucks. Why the water can? Why did you pick that?
Yeah, no, that's actually an interesting story. So, again, just the culture of our fire department, the small city, big city heart, right? So we were one of those urban, suburban departments that was really mimicking a big city. We have a dedicated truck company that's at a dual house and riding assignments, seat assignments. And just one of those assignments is, as a firefighter assigned to a ladder truck in our city, is you're going to carry the irons in a water can.
Okay.
I didn't, at that time I wasn't going to conferences, and frankly then they weren't that popular, right? So it wasn't too easy to go to. And so I didn't really know outside my city what fire departments were really like. And I had a friend that was leaving a smaller city to go to the city of Orlando. We mimic, very similar to city of Orlando. And he's like, hey, what do you guys carry as an inside truck firefighter? What do you guys carry on a fire? And I, irons, can, blah, blah. He's like, on a working fire, you carry a can? And I'm like, yeah, man, don't you do? That's what everybody does, right? And he's like, no, that's for like investigations on like fire alarms or rubbish fires. And so I started talking to him. And give them a little more detail. And around that time, the guys that run or the Orlando Fire Conference, we were attending a class together at the State Fire College, and he was looking for a new program. And he actually mentioned, he's like, "Hey, what about a water can?" And I can't remember if he just knew because Winter Park, that was part of our riding assignments and things, or just randomly said the water can, and it kind of mirrored up with the conversation I had with my buddy. And I was like, "Hey, I'll do a program for you." Well, and he's like, okay, cool, you're in. What are you going to call it? I said, can confidence. I just think about building confidence in that tool.
Right.
And that's honestly where it started. And like 3 months later, me and my best friend basically developed the hands-on part of it. And it's grown. I mean, it was like a 2.5 hour hands-on class, and now it's up to like 8 hours,
Would you say generally that's probably the misconception of the actual abilities of the can? We got a mutual friend who works in FDNY. Started here. Him and Steve were in the same rookie academy here in Hanover County. And, we hear that's a position for them up there is irons and can. And it seems like in the rural setting and, down here in our part of the world, it's just a very looked over piece of equipment. Just me joking around with you talking about why the can, that just tells you right there. What do you believe is the misconception with that? What happened that we don't use that particular piece of equipment the way we have the ability? It's fantastic. You can do a lot of shit with 2.5 gallons of water.
Yeah, so my take on this, and I've traveled the country with the program, so I've heard all kind of excuses and reasons why or why not. And honestly, I think it comes down to, the FDNY, they popularized the can man position, right? Like, I think we can all agree that. Actually, I've really tried to figure out the history behind that. I want to know the first company that started that and all that. And I've gotten down a few rabbit holes, but a few dead ends, my connections in the city there. But like a lot of things that come out of FDNY and smaller cities basically look at that and like, hey, that's FDNY, that's six person rigs. We don't have that. We don't have that staffing, and ultimately we, as in suburban firefighters, feel like we're task saturated and not a lot of people to disperse the tasks that we need to complete there, and. But really, if you think about it, it takes one person to operate that tool. Mm-hmm. So if I show up with a 2-man engine company, and you got your driver could be stretching a line, and that second firefighter, maybe an officer or whatnot, can take that can, go in quickly for a quick knockback on the fire while that driver's getting that line stretched. It's great for departments who are a little weary of letting their people search without the protection of a hose line. Right now, we're giving 2.5 gallons of water. You attend one of our classes, we can really show you how much fire that can hold back to protect that search team, especially if you're searching without the hose line or in front of the hose line, things like that. So I think there's just a disconnect there because, again, we're so task saturated. We need to accomplish a lot of things. Most of the American Fire Service doesn't have a lot of staffing to carry extra equipment and things like that, and that's a big drive for me to get out here and show these, especially to suburban departments, because I work for a little city now. You could argue we're pretty well staffed for what we have, but it's still something that not an urban city, not locked to an urban city. So conference like this helped me kind of get out there and show the power of that can.
How long have you been going around teaching this?
To about 10, 11 years ago was the first time we did the program.
Yeah, so
just over a decade. Yeah.
Yeah, so it isn't new.
No.
Yeah, no.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and I've obviously picked up a lot of things along the way. A lot of mentors of mine, and just redeveloping the program every so often to, because again, I spoke in front of 200 people, right? So, they're hearing one version of my opinions and my experiences and training and things I've been passed down to, but I get to hear 200 of them when we're out of the bars or rapping with you guys here on this podcast. So, I like to learn all that stuff, and oh shit, that gives me a good idea for another part of the program and things like that.
Yeah. Ethan's riding position was the hook in the can.
Yeah.
He was going to kill me if I didn't correct you on that one. But he said the assignment was basically they got 6 on the rig, so they would find the fire room, and then the can man would stay there and keep it in check, and then let the others search with the confidence that he's going to hold it back in time. So it's a great assignment, fun assignment, and very useful. Like you said, if you know how to use the can, then you can buy a lot of time.
Yeah, I see plenty of times that the rescue guys here get off and they do a search, and they're top notch when it comes to going through and performing those tasks in order to get that primary search done. But rarely do I catch them with a can. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
to hear you say.
There's a lot of components to. There's a lot of layers we pull back and talk about, but getting in there, especially ahead of the hose line, stopping that forward progression of fire, putting quick water between fire and potential victims, leaving somebody there planted as a safety, while the other member or members, if you're a little more well staffed, kind of break away from that general area and search those immediate areas, and we could still stay within some sort of voice contact or line of sight with that can firefighter. But yeah, it's done wonders, and the great thing is one of the things that we try to hit home in the program is, we moved in quickly, we found the fire, we typically search from that point on. But me as the officer, I like to radio straight to the engine company where your fire is located. Sure. That way they can come in, they know exactly what direction inside from the front door they need to go, and it makes the stretch a lot easier and gets them to put real water on the fire much faster.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I sure hope that you continue to keep coming back over and over again.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So.
Absolutely. It's not Florida here in southeastern North Carolina, but it's as close as we got.
Yeah. No, the weather's been nice, so I've been enjoying it.
I got you. Is your content or your programs or anything available on the internet? Somebody messed around and made some good YouTube videos of you teaching can stuff? So is there a company?
So ventintersearch.com is my website. So if you go there, the addition of social media and things, basically, we stopped posting a lot of new content on the website. It's been around for a long time. It's arguably probably the longest running firefighter blog type website.
I'm very familiar with that. Yeah. I had no idea that that was your website.
Yeah, so I was not the one that started it. My training chief at the time was the one who started with an Orlando guy in 2005. Sure. So it's been around since 2005. I came on with those guys in 2012, and then took the website over officially by myself in 2017. And then just before that, obviously is when we started the hands-on program through it. But anyways, you go there. There's plenty of content there. Yeah. Since 2005, you're not going to find much new stuff anymore because again, social media, people want a quick tips and quick things like that. And this is more of a long form style. But yeah, it's archived there. You search for the content. My contact's on there as well, or social media. If you just search Eric Wheaton on Instagram or Facebook or Vin or search, you'll find us and find some content to maybe do a little kitchen table style training at the firehouse. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed it.
Thanks for bringing that class here. That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
No doubt. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care.
Right, take care.
Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with every single thing that you just said, and I feel like a total retard for never being able to have a name associated with all this stuff. That's wild. Yeah, I've been on Vent Intersearch a billion times. Billion times.
Yeah, that came out of Winter Park in Orlando. So.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
We just did a live burn Sunday, and we stretched the company in with a line, but I had a can in there just to keep it in check while I was waiting. And he hit it back, and we shut it down and let it grow back to us. And then I switched out with him and gave him the can. He loved it, and it was like a perfect real world setup to be able to understand.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
Until
the
you've
shit
done
that you
it.
need to record and send to him.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he would appreciate that video.
The live fire stuff is really makes that program anytime you do. Or hell, even I tell guys, even if you go into a flashover simulator, flashover trailer, and ask the guys running the trailer, hey, you mind if we bring a cannon and just see what a few hits on the ceiling will do with just 2.5 gallons of water? Because a lot of some things we'll talk in the program is like for our protection too, right? Protecting life, protecting property, but also for us that are searching away from protection of a hose line. If we get in a pinch, just as you would a nozzle, straight up the ceiling, wide open, back yourself in a room of refuge, close the door, and call that mayday or call that help, or break out the window and bail out yourself. But so cool.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so
All
much.
right, yeah, no problem, guys. Nice
Thanks,
meeting
man.
you.
Really nice meeting you.
Yeah. Thanks,
Ron.
man.
We'll be in touch. Thank you.
For sure.
Swing back by after that call.
Do I need to put this down?
No, you're good. He'll find you.
Yeah, there's a.
The man behind the machine, he'll find you.
Yep. It's neat. These two are slightly different than this one, but this one has this ball of efficiency around it. He just pulls your voice right in.
So, JJ, I don't know if we have officially met. I know you. I had a camera in your face a lot last year when you were doing the hot class. I was down there shooting the promo video that you see.
Okay.
So I was in your face a lot, moving around. You're probably like, who's this weirdo like running around with a camera? Nah, but that was, and I see you hanging around Ciampo and them and stuff a lot. I know you guys teach a lot together and stuff like that. What's your full name? JJ
Cassetta.
JJ Cassetta. And Orlando.
City of
correct?
Orlando, yep.
City of Orlando. Sweet. How many years have you been coming here?
This is my second year here.
Second.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
It's awesome. It's a great place to be. I sent my wife a picture from my 5th floor balcony this morning of the sunrise. I probably shouldn't have done that. But
she's mad.
I was like, not a bad view.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
How often do you travel around and teach?
It varies. I try not to do too much. I have 2 small kids at home, and my wife just got a full-time job a few months ago. And so, family's obviously very important, but probably like 5 or 6 times a year.
Okay.
I do bring them a couple times when we go to Pensacola Beach to some of Kurt's conferences up there in the Panhandle. Family vacation. It's great. Like in August, Mike brings his wife and kids too, and we just have it's like a vacation, man. Eric brings his wife and kids sometimes, and they love it, man. It's right on the beach.
A vacation that shares wealth of knowledge with others in the area.
Yes.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So what is it that you focus on when you teach? Do you travel with Eric mostly?
I do travel with Eric some and Mike a lot. Mike's been a big friend, great friend of mine and a mentor for many years. We hooked up at FDIC a little over like 23 years ago or so. And I've been teaching truck stuff mostly. Got in with his group when we did the ground ladders class and turned it into truck essentials. So mostly truck stuff, search, forcible entry, VES.
Sure.
I've done a couple aerial classes with Eric as well. So
I bet that ground ladders class is good.
It was when we had it dialed in as a 4-hour class, man, and we did the rescue station was the big eye opener for people. I teach at the fire academy as well, and the basics of bringing an unconscious or a conscious victim down a ladder. That's that's the textbook stuff.
Yeah.
When you get to a window and somebody's dropping a baby at you, and then they come out with one more, or somebody disappears on a window and they reappear somewhere else, or there's 3 people at the top of the ladder coming down, or somebody's getting aggressive on the ladder. How do we handle those situations, and having that game plan ahead of time? So that was everyone always really like, wow, I never really thought of that. It's a big eye opener for people. So it's always been a great class, and we have some guys that are pretty good actors and can create a little bit of chaos at the top of the ladder, and that's always a bit of fun too.
Yeah, I teach water rescue is kind of my world that I live in. I'm a truck guy, but I love the water.
Okay.
That's my thing. And good actors when it comes to victims, man, it changes the dynamic so much, and it's awesome.
I will say, times have changed obviously, but about 15 or so years ago, we would go to the dollar store, headed to the site when we went out there to set up in Indianapolis, and guys got costumes and masks. We had, coming out in bathrobes and just different face masks and different accents, and so you can imagine,
that sounds
stories.
incredible.
Never surprised we didn't get an EEO complaint of some sort at some point, but anyways, good old days.
No doubt.
It's still great though.
Yeah.
We still have a great time. You can still,
Anytime
make
you
it
can
fun.
inject humor into a good training scenario,
Yeah.
you know.
And you know, if you listen to Mike talk, he's always throwing jokes out, he's giving everybody a nickname or doing this, that. He's a character himself. So
Yeah, I was telling these boys before. I said if you haven't had the chance, go in there and slip in there. I watched him last year do his presentation, and I slipped in there again watching him do his presentation this year. I'm like, that dude's got to eat a burger before and a burger after, because he is on
Burning
it
calories.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like he is on us.
he's got his spiel down, no doubt about it. I've heard a lot of his jokes, probably 1,000 times, but they're still
Yeah.
funny. You know, and some of the stories changed a little bit over time, and he's like, I remember that time we did, you know, and they're all true.
Yeah.
Can't make them up. So
Right.
that's good.
How long have you been with Orlando?
I've been there 20 years.
20 years.
So this coming up 20 years, and I just was thinking about it because May is the anniversary when I started in the fire department. So it'll be 27 years this year. I worked for the city of Cincinnati for about 5 years prior to going to Orlando, and then I worked for a small suburban department in Orlando area prior to that. So Orlando's kind of my home. I was actually born and raised in Houston, Texas. Moved over there about 12 years old with my family to Florida. Went to college up at Eastern Kentucky University, which was about 100 miles from the city of Cincinnati. That's how I ended up taking the test there.
Right.
Got on the job there. And my best friend convinced me to come back home to Orlando. So I did. 20 years later, here I am.
You gonna be Mo Davis style and do 40, or
No.
he's smart like the rest of us. We're not all psychos like Mo.
Well, just the way our pension works, I got 10 max left. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'd love to be done in 8
Heard that.
if I can manage that. Like I said, my kids are only 5 and 7 right now. So if I retire in 8 years, they'll still be teenagers. So I'll have to do something else.
Mine are-
Or I don't want to. Never wanted to be one of those guys that retired and then went right back to work. You know.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
Mine are
who
9
knows?
and 5. So
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
I enjoyed life for 40 years before I had kids. I still enjoy life. I love my kids to death. Don't get me wrong. It's the best thing that ever happened to
Sure.
me. But being able to be a little bit older and have kids and you know, have that balance is very good.
I
Being
bet.
financially stable, you know, in
Yeah.
a career, all that kind of stuff. I think it just hopefully my kids will be better for that.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
So
They got a good father figure, so they'll be all right. They'll be all right.
that's why I try not to be gone too much.
I understand.
Dad, when are you coming home? Dad.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. If you do 8 more years, that'll put them on up in age where they probably won't be your best friend at that
That's
point
right,
in their
that's
life.
right. Then I
and
gotta
then you'll be
start
able to travel
traveling
more.
I do travel a little bit for photography too. I do some fireground photography.
Sweet.
Been doing that for probably about almost 15 years.
Well, we need to get
now.
your advice before we leave. We got cameras and stuff. laying
Yeah,
around.
I picked up the guy's camera that was in the front of the room. The other guy named Mike.
I'm not
with
sure.
kind of long hair under the hat. He was up in the front row. He was taking some pictures.
Okay.
He's got a real nice camera. I picked it up and took a picture when Mike was standing on the chair. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, I did see
And
that.
the guy
Yeah, I
gave me
did
a
see
look. I was
that.
like, hey man, it's okay. I'm a camera guy. I know what you got. I'm not gonna drop it. It's a nice mirrorless camera. I was a little jealous, but
I got you.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
got you.
Nice. Hey, thanks for coming and chatting with us.
No
and
problem.
thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it.
to the
Thanks.
to the.
glad to
seminar.
be here. It was very enjoyable.
See ya
I know
next year, if not before.
Yeah, I didn't talk. I heard Eric over here talking all about search and trucks and this and that and copy in Orlando.
Yeah.
That's right. That's basically what he said. His department was, you know how you hear the comment second to none? You know, that
Yeah.
basically
We're
y'all
none.
were, y'all were none.
No.
Yeah.
So,
No, I actually have run into Eric on a call here and there. We had a fire. It's been a while when I was covering floating lieutenant that we actually did run in together. We don't work and play well with others, I guess. Really, they don't work and play well with us, I guess.
I get it.
But yeah, we have not an automatic aid agreement. It's mutual aid, so it happens on occasion. But
Sure.
we don't really do it like we should. Send the closest unit, especially when it comes to dealing with Orange County. They don't like to call us. We call them a lot, but they don't like to call us. But it happens. That's all right.
there's a lot of that goes on
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well,
brother.
you know what? We're just operate differently.
Sure.
The way of operating in ours, we are all four person truck companies. Mostly 4-man engines. They're coming up. They've come a long way. I will say in the last week, I'm not talking bad about Orange County.
Of course
I have some
not.
friends that work there, and it's nothing to do with the guys in the street that don't work well together. It's how the
Never
it's
the case.
The administration, So always
the
enjoyed.
Yes. That's so
what they do,
understood by pretty much everybody on the line anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we all have the same common goal. It seems like the higher you get and the more bugles he gets across, you kind of lose touch with that, and it's
100%.
all about
Yeah.
political
But
shit.
it's all
Anyway,
good.
yeah.
We get the job done, right?
That's
The
right.
day the fire goes out where everybody's happy.
That's
We're
right.
good.
That's
Doesn't matter
right.
what the T-shirt or the fire truck looks like.
That's right. That's right. Well, JJ, it's been a pleasure, and enjoy your afternoon.
Thank
Are you
sir.
you're going back in there
I will
for
be
the
back in there.
Nice.
I'm actually gonna go run and get a cup of coffee, and then I'll be back in there. For the
Heard
afternoon.
that. I look forward to hearing that.
All right, cool.
All right,
Take
thanks,
care,
brother.
Thanks, guys.
Come on, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had those fire department relationship issues here too.
We have
so
one
it's-
here right now.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
administration and Chief Griffin, they don't get along.
Don't always stand there like this. Try to get the foreground. Like the other day, I took a picture at a wedding. I had the fountain, but in the back, here's the fountain, but there's the bride and groom in between. Like I got to teach them this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and then we'll be done.
I give him some pointers.
I get it. He knows I love him. So when we're in Detroit, he's explaining shit to me.
Perfect.
So.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey,
People teach me too.
I get it.
do me a favor. Ask them guys, is that Carolina Beach or the aerial ladder? Just ask them if that's a spare or not. Is that your ladder truck out there? Oh. Are we,
I think it's Wrightsville Beach. Wrightsville Beach.
yeah, Wrightsville. See if that's a spare or their regular rig.
If there's a bell on the front, it's their first out.
There's not a bell?
There's no bell.
There's an Akron.
Is it made by Mac?
No, it's a C.
Seagrave.
Seagrave. That's not the Rosenbauer they ordered. Right?
No, it's a Seagrave.
This one here?
Yeah, that's not their first out.
It's a spare.
It's their spare.
Oh, great. I can't compartment. I can still compartment corner. I can do a thing on spares.
We have a really super amazing relationship with our fire chief, and
I'll call him if you want when we get done and get the official status on that thing.
yeah, you can do whatever you want. You'll probably be like driving ocean. I don't care.
Old.
Whatever you want to do.
It's a
No, it's
75.
it's an 08
Is there a
right
platform
there.
on their Mac? There is a platform. I
Yeah.
think it's a mid mount.
Maybe.
Yeah.
75 Mac. I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's an older truck.
Single axle.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a stick shift too, bro. If it hasn't been switched over.
71 Mac pump.
This poor guy's like, would you shut up talking? I'm ready to record over
He's
here.
chilling. If he's smart, he's recording right now.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you want a cup of tea or anything? Want me to get a cup of coffee? Real quick?
No, thanks. I'm fuming right now, so.
Gotcha.
No, I'm
Well-
not fuming at you guys. Shit up in the city, that's all.
Let's I'm gonna see if this helps this time. The headphones have been distracting for me.
Okay.
Because they amplify everything in the room.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run without it
Let's do it.
and see. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fine. We can chase. He can chase you really well.
That's right.
I'm not
Okay.
worried about you. It's just me and Steve. I'll get to talk to you, and I'll be back here. And I couldn't hear a damn thing you're saying.
Yeah.
So, but you'll be fine. Brother Ciampo back again.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys keep roping me into this.
Yeah.
It's not us. We're just reaping the benefits of Alan's hard work.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
right.
That's it. I only come for the weather anyway, right? That's the story. So,
I'm with you. I'm with you. So second year here.
second year.
Second year back. We talked with you last year. Enjoyed the crap out of that conversation. A lot's transpired in a year. We follow you indirectly. I've been keeping up with you. What's going on? The book was a big topic last year. It was not dropped yet. It was fixing to drop.
Yeah, it was coming up soon.
Yeah, that's right. It was coming up soon. It's dropped now.
It dropped, actually, JJ, who you just had on, we were trying to figure out, my daughter is a social media expert. She used to be a minor league assistant GM. And she's like, Dad, we got to make this important. So what we did was, my godson is little Joey, and Ava's JJ's daughter, and they were probably about, I don't know, 4 years old and 6. And we had them say, hey, Uncle Mike, the postman delivered this, and they came walking through the conference holding the book, so people all thought that was a ploy, but we were trying to make it,
Right.
they're like family to me. We're just trying to make it a fun, how often do you write a book? So
Right.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
we just thought it was a cute way to do it, and that's the way we announced the book with a special delivery. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda
So what's
fun.
the name of the book?
The name of the book is Tower Ladders, Tactics, Tips, and Tales. I actually have one here for raffle for Alan, which is going to go to the North Carolina peer support group, which, I know we've all run into friends that have had problems in this line of profession. So if I could help out a little bit with anybody, that's what I like to do. So.
That's great. Yeah.
I feel like a big POS because I haven't ordered one yet, but I have several of the people in our department here that have ordered it, and they absolutely love it.
Well, thanks.
Absolutely love it.
You try to be your own self, a little bit of style. You want to pass it on, give back to the fire service, and I spoke to a lot of people. Chief Bingham from Washington, D.C., I worked with him years ago. I've been out of D.C. for 33 years in August, but, I emailed him and back and forth, and, he was a mentor of mine on the job there, and, he wrote 2 books, and he was like, Mike, they want more pictures, more fire stories. So in between the chapter, I have separate stories of my years on the job, but in between the chapters, just say a tower ladder was at a taxpayer or strip mall fire. I always remember watching one of our guys cut the parking meters down so we could glide across the sidewalk. Well, urban street dweller saw the parking meter fall, so he runs and grabs it and runs, takes it up. Now a cop's chasing him down the street. So, I threw that in about operating on the sidewalk. A fun tale, short and brief, but kids today, I'll make you laugh. We just got here. There's no parking meters. You go down to the corner, put money in some box, and it spits a ticket out. So,
Right.
So it's kind of funny that times are changing.
There still is parking meters. We have them downtown next to our studio and stuff like that. So that's still very applicable.
Luckily, but they're going to disappear.
Without the story, I never would have thought of it. I never would have thought about it. Just cut those bastards off and we'll get in here.
We'll slide across. And the funny part about it was I didn't tell the punchline. The cop was a little bit obese. So he's running down the street and his gun belt's falling down, so he's trying to pull it up, So I was in the bucket waiting for where I'm like, I didn't know whether to watch the fire or look at the show over there. So, like things like that. But it's 18 chapters, tower ladder tactics and tips and tales. It deals from everything from setup, apparatus checks, responding. I've actually been very fortunate when we were down at the High Rise Conference. 2 chiefs from Virginia came up to me and let me know they were using apparatus checks and responding chapters in their engineer's exam.
Wow.
That they felt that the responding chapter was real important. And, it makes you feel good.
Absolutely.
That they would think so highly of the book.
Yeah, dude.
And, I have everything. It's not a big city book. One thing about me, if I grew up in a volunteer outfit. My dad, brother, nephew, my daughter's boyfriend, soon-to-be husband, my brother-in-law. We have a long line of my great-grandfather, grandfather, all for being firefighters. And so it's just not big city. I go over small city tactics, operations at private dwellings, multiple dwellings. I reach out to other friends at weird rescue scenarios. There's a rescue chapter. So it's a great deal of information. So, and then thrown through the chapters are little mini tactical tips where it just has it is a good spot for it. A quick little 2-line tactical tips on the use of a roof hook or something.
Right.
So, it's hopefully it's doing well, and it's sort of, I don't say leveled off. It's 1 or 2 book sales a week. Again, I'm not trying to be, look at me, the big author.
I think everybody who knows you or knows anything about you knows that that's not the motive behind the book.
That's
it was
right.
just passing information. That was, you have a conversation with you past 30 seconds. So that's easy to figure out.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
If I wanted to make money, I would have wrote a romance novel. Right?
Yeah,
No
correct.
doubt. No doubt. So last year when we talked to you, you were kind of off the rig, but you were at the Rock. Like you were there all the time. That was your new assignment.
Yes.
Is that still the case?
Unfortunately, I've been still having some World Trade Center medical issues that we're trying to straighten out, and I really don't want to retire until we get our finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Sure.
So I'm at the Rock. I'm very, very fortunate. I work with some great people there, and they actually give me the football to run a little bit my own way. And just, for instance, the importance of what we do. A company ran into a new bifold closing heavy metal door that actually, it goes up and it sticks off the building like this. So when it goes, it's vertical. They weigh anywhere from 1,500 to 6,000 pounds, depending on the weight.
Yeah.
Well, they also have steel plating on them. This one had 3/8 plating, so when it's up, it's about 1,600 pounds, this one. And we did this thing about, like, well, how are you going to force entry? If you put it in the up position, which you can do by a key, it's not held by regular metal chains or cables. They have, like, just canvas straps.
What?
Well, 2 of the canvas straps already broke at this one, and they were being replaced. So what happens if you put that up at a fire, and now the fire's vent, or it's a daytime fire, it's up, and now it starts burning, and these straps come down. The gate's going to roll down. So it was something the company picked up. So we did research. We called the manufacturers, and we actually had companies come out and we wedged portable ladders up.
Okay.
Like saying, hey, you have a daytime response. It's up. Fire's in the store. We don't want the straps to burn, so we put 24 closed, and then we also used a shorter 12-foot roof ladder, and then we put cribbing underneath just to say, hey, what happens if we have to do both sides?
Right.
So, we find some stuff, we go out, we film it, and we present it to the companies. And then again, we're still doing those on Monday through Thursday. We do a live performance at 10:30 and 11:30. 10, 15 minutes, we throw a good drill subject. We're in the street. Like this month, we're doing gas stations. And you'd be like, gas stations? Well, it's not a common response, but a lot of problems at gas stations. So we're doing live. The worst part about filming there, cars coming in and out, you got to watch.
Yeah.
We're
filming here.
Yeah, we're filming, so. But it's great because you spend an hour there, when I say we film at 10:30, then again at 11:30. And you just watch what goes on, who's backing in. This guy, the other day we had a lady pulling the bus, and she puts it in reverse, and she's just going to back out in the street. And we talk about accidents there and this and that. So, that's what we're doing. So I'm still at the Rock. I'm not retired yet. People I'll let you know when I retire. Okay,
we'll put it out.
I like it. I like it.
So,
no, I don't want you to retire.
No, I'm not ready.
It's too much good stuff still left in that brain that has not been tapped yet. So I don't want you to retire. It's devastating to hear this is just what I've caught from a little bit of phone conversation and just our exchange, the troubles that you guys that have responded to the World Trade Center and stuff like that, the shit that you have to deal with, man, with all that stuff that's still going on. I'm sure it's a touchy subject, might not want to talk about it at all, but I'm just expressing from somebody all the way down here in North Carolina, it's still, I don't know, it makes me, I was talking to Steve about it before you came on, I was like, I don't know, I'm not pissed, I'm not sad, I don't know, it just makes me feel some type of way that, this guy, we hear the stories from the Leary Foundation and all these things. We hear these stories about the issues that these folks that are having, this many years later. And it's like you still have to jump through hoops like it's no big deal. And it's like, I don't know how to describe the feeling that I have, but just know that it's, I feel bad for you having to go through that and having to deal with that end of things when I feel like it should just be such an easy, done deal process. It's like, damn, look what you've sacrificed. Look what you're dealing with now. Here's whatever you need, whatever resources, we're here to make that happen for you.
Well, I appreciate it. But, a word out to everybody that, we have people from out of New York City that respond, USAR teams, this and that, even the younger firefighters. In my situation, I am seeing a specialist right now for all upper respiratory throat issues. And I have actually, my vocal cords are disintegrating from exposures and this and that. But they make you go to certain specialists, so you have to see the speech pathologist. So, of course, I do these exercises. Certain days, if the pollen's wrong outside or it's a humid day, my throat hurts more. Or I smell smoke far away, I can feel the burn. But where I'm saying this is, she's actually seeing the next wave of World Trade Center problems. You take a fellow like myself, I was at 10 and a half years in the FDNY when the Trade Center hit. Now I'd say 20 years past that, every day, the food on the stove, the gas leak, the diesel fuel in quarters. We had the exhaust system, but still, the truck starts up. You're around the rigs. You go to rubbish in the hallway. Just 20 years of being exposed after. What did I take all my time at the Trade Center? All those, and then you had 20 years of service. Again, she's seen another wave of people getting ill. Now, did the initial exposure hurt a lot of us and we didn't know, but we were young? So, it is, you do get upset when, you're dealing with some outside agencies that I was on the phone. Well, I'm a World Trade Center. This is the paperwork. It's already there. Well, we need this. We need that. It's like, you have the paperwork in front of you. How many more things do you need? So, like you said, you get a little upset, frustrated, especially when it's your own health. You start questioning yourself. And if I can say anything, don't get on the internet and start reading stuff, because looking up problems, then you get, was that me? Or it's let the professionals go get the test done, and because they'll play mind games with you.
I'm sure. So. Yeah, we've got a couple guys in our department that are like that. It's like everything's wrong all the time.
So that internet can be friendly one day, but then the next day it plays mind games with you.
Sure.
But how's everything with you guys? Things are going well? Or?
Yeah, things are good. We've been busy. We're trying this new thing, doing some short shows, and
Awesome.
we're just punching away, getting after it.
You take it on the road yet? The smaller shows or little training venues or anything?
We've been doing some online stuff.
Okay.
We did kind of a cool thing. We had one of the guys, I'm not sure, he's in Pamlico County, so he's just a little north of here, but he was telling us outside, he teaches the Fire Officer series, so Fire Officer 1, 2, and 3. He was telling us that he uses one of our clips that we had, I think last year with Steve, when we were at the First Two Conference, in his training curriculum. Like, he uses it when it comes to that, and it's pretty humbling. Weird and humbling at the same time, you know what I mean?
No, that's the way, like you said, I felt about the book when they told me they were using certain chapters.
Yeah.
I know you can't use any of mine. First, they can't understand me. I talk too fast, like from New York. And, maybe I throw a joke in there that's off color or something,
Sure.
So you're not using that in any leadership class,
So, we're doing well, plugging along, just, keeping our head above water.
That's
how it is.
Like you said, if you can make a difference every day, that's what it's about. I saw something I thought was pretty cool the other day. Like, don't sling the brotherhood, sling beers or beverages with the brothers. Don't be talking. Everybody's got a footprint here. Be your own person. Just give back, and like you said, that guy's jealous of that guy. That guy. Hey, listen, he's putting one foot in front of the other. He's trying to make an impact. So that's the way I look at it.
Words of wisdom from the man himself,
That's
there.
right. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, the brotherhood needs people helping, not trying to split it up or tear it apart or do things.
Definitely. Like you said, they always, we hear that all the time. Leave it better than you found it.
That's right.
I just had this passion. Like Tom Brennan years ago. One of my mentors grabbed me at a trade show and said, "Listen, you're a young dog. You got the passion and desire." He goes, "You're coming along. Get your experience. Get that street credit. Go to fires. You're in busy companies. Develop." He goes, and then you'll find your passion. And tower ladders was my passion. I wanted to learn everything I wanted to do in there, and I just enjoyed it, and I enjoyed teaching younger firefighters how to operate it, where to position it. Go to the building on a run. Hey, where would you go right now? Oh, there's a lady in that window. Where would you gonna put the bucket? And you just run with it. And
Nice.
when that younger firefighter looks at you like, "Oh, I get it." I go, "Well, okay, I talked it. Now get in the bucket, go do it."
Yeah.
Right.
So it makes them, appreciate you. And that, you can't put a price on when you teach somebody something.
Sure.
That's, to me, a handshake, thank you. I used the punch technique at a fire, it worked great, or I forced the door, like you said. That's what it's about. You can't put a price on that. So
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Well, we're grateful. Thanks so much for coming back
No,
this year again.
appreciate
Coming back
it.
next year?
We'll see. I don't want to talk yet. If I am retired, I got to mark the calendar. Maybe I'll be on the golf course or
Heard that.
or fishing, or I don't know. We'll see. I definitely would like to come back. We'll just see what's going on.
I got you. Well, if you don't come back here, I'm sure we're still going to talk to you
I'm
one
sure.
way or another.
Appreciate it very
It's been
much.
a pleasure. Thank
seeing
you so
you guys.
much, brother.
You always look.
Yes,
do you guys
sir.
ever put any pounds on or makeup, or what's the story? They're
you
always
mean?
looking good. You guys change it all. They're
This
always
guy,
looking,
just a byproduct.
Well, stay safe and best wishes to you.
Yeah,
all right?
dude. We appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Do us a favor. Slide over to iTunes or Spotify or YouTube. Leave a 5-star review and leave a comment. If you want to support further, share it with somebody. Ask them to like, subscribe, and share it with their friends. If they can benefit from it, we need to spread it out. The more you like and comment, the more visible we are on all these platforms when people are just searching Firefighter Podcast. It'll come up Primary Complete a little bit quicker, and they won't have to dig quite so far to find us. We really appreciate that. Visit the website. It's a pretty good site. It's got all kinds of fun links and stuff. You can also find the shows there on the website as well, and that's www.primarycompletepodcast.com. Thank you all so much for your support. Again, we love you. Thank you for helping us make conversation great again.